The special counsel team is accelerating probes beyond rebellion, including foreign exchange. In addition, as testimonies from trusted allies have been overturned, the situation for former President Yoon Suk-yeol is becoming increasingly difficult. We'll delve into the investigation involving former President Yoon with our legal team reporter, Chae Hee-ji. Reporter Choi, regarding the rebellion case, investigations are now in full swing. Also, as mentioned earlier, probes into foreign exchange charges are underway. Could you explain how these investigations are progressing?
There was speculation that proving the foreign exchange charges wouldn't be easy. However, today, they launched a full-scale investigation into these charges. The special counsel team explained that to secure a search warrant, they must convince the court of probable cause linked to the alleged crime by providing enough evidence for a reasonable basis to search. Interpreting this explanation, it suggests that statements sufficient to prove the charges have been obtained while investigating related individuals. However, the charge applied in this search is general treason, which does not require collusion with an enemy nation. Compared to the foreign exchange retention charges that the initial prosecution team intended to apply, it's a narrower accusation. It seems like they are still in the stage of needing more progress to prove former President Yoon's involvement. With evidence gathered from searches, the probe is broadening to cover former intelligence commander No Sang-woon, former minister Kim Yong-hyun, and former President Yoon Suk-yeol. It remains to be seen if foreign exchange charges will be added.
Let's take a look at the investigation status. It seems like the testimonies from people close to former President Yoon have changed, which is speeding up the investigation. What kind of statements have been secured?
They were his trusted confidants. Key suspects are now changing their previous statements, giving testimony that's unfavorable to former President Yoon. For instance, Kim Sung-hoon, the former deputy chief of the Presidential Security Office who used to deny the allegations against former President Yoon, has reportedly reversed his testimony during the special prosecution's investigation, admitting to the charges. The current Marine Special Prosecutor's Office reports that Kim Tae-hyo, former first deputy director of the National Security Office and key figure in pressure allegations, reversed his testimony from a year ago, giving statements that could confirm the VIP channel theory. The Rebellion Special Prosecutor team is expected to re-summon former Prime Minister Han Duck-soo soon to verify possible accomplice ties. This is because there are allegations that Han's earlier testimony contradicts objective evidence obtained in the insurrection conspiracy case, so there's interest in whether his testimony will change.
Apparently, even former President Yoon himself mentioned that people around him are leaving. It seems like he's in a truly isolated situation. Anyway, he still didn't show up today. Why is that?
As we reported earlier, the special investigation team on the rebellion tried to forcibly bring him in today, but he didn't show up. Former President Yoon's side reported that his health has worsened during detention, and he is less willing to cooperate with the investigation, making it difficult for him to appear. Today he maintained the same stance he had previously and did not even offer any additional statements, outright refusing the summons. Based on the response from the former President Yoon's side, the possibility of his appearance in the future seems slim.
This isn't the first time we've seen a former president detained. In the past, how did similar situations unfold, and were there any comparable scenarios we should consider?
Several former presidents, including Park Geun-hye and Lee Myung-bak, refused investigations after their detentions. Former President Yoon seems to be following the same path as others before him. If this continues, there is a strong possibility he could be indicted without a face-to-face investigation. Some speculate he might seriously consider filing for a detention review as a last line of defense. However, considering that prior requests for detention reviews have faced repeated rejections, it appears highly likely that he may not find this option effective this time as well and could decide against attempting it.
Let's look at the updates on the Kim Ki-on-hee case. The investigation into Sambu construction is ongoing.
Yes, in the Kim Ki-on-hee Special Inspector's investigation, they are attempting their first arrest just about 10 days after launching the probe. Arrest warrants have been requested for key suspects in the Sambu construction stock manipulation case. Those reportedly include current and former chairmen of Sambu Construction who were previously summoned for questioning. As they denied the allegations during the investigation, authorities appear to have determined that formal arrests are necessary to move the investigation forward.
That's it for the special prosecution updates. Chae Hee-ji from Legal Affairs.